Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a follow-on video from our last one about how to support friends with a mental illness. I'll pass you on to Charlotte, who will talk to you about it first.
So I think one of the first things which is really important is to get an understanding of how mental illness works. I don't think you need to go really in depth. It's just really helpful to maybe do a little bit of research, maybe read a couple of books. There are books out there that are dedicated to carers of sufferers, which can be quite helpful. So I think that's kind of number one, really.
Yeah, and if you want us to do a video on anything you have questions about or you want to know about, we're more than happy to do that, so to help you guys out.
Yeah. Kind of number two, we were sort of talking about knowing the sufferer's restrictions and things like that. So places that maybe aren't the best for them to go, places that they feel more comfortable, like they're safe places, things like that. Maybe even, items, food items around them that they aren't comfortable with. If you understand things like that, and I think you can get an understanding from maybe their parents or like their siblings around them, and they're probably quite happy to talk to you about things like that, because often parents and carers are kind of gasping for a friend that will.
Or if you want to be brave and go straight to them, and they're happy to talk to you about it, then I guess that's even better, isn't it? But I mean, I remember we stayed around a friend's house, and my mum was like to my friend, she can only stay if she has a glass of milk. She has 2 glasses of milk. So my friend, bless her, made sure I had 2 glasses of milk. So it's just little things like that, I think, that will make the sufferer be able to be more themselves and be able to do more things with you, because it will be within their limits, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The third thing we had was kind of, it can be quite hard, but not taking things to heart. So there's plenty of times when I used to maybe go to Sam and try and chat with her or something like that, and she wouldn't really be that responsive, or you'd ask her to go somewhere and last minute she wouldn't want to go. Things like that. I think from having an understanding of mental illness, it's easier to not take things to heart, but it's just unfortunately part of the mental illness.
Yeah, I remember going round a friend's house and they'd made me I think it was a bit of food, and I couldn't eat it, and it looked like I was kind of not really respecting what they'd done for me, but I just couldn't eat it. So that could have looked like I was perhaps being a bit not very good friend, whereas I think I was really honest with them at the end. But so things like that, or if you're like, oh, I booked a table here, or we're going to go on a spa break and we're going to go in the swimming pool, and maybe they're not comfortable in their swimming costume. Could be all things like that that would stop them from
participating.
Yeah, but just try and hang in there, and
it can be difficult, but
really difficult.
I think from having a small understanding of mental illness, these things we're talking about can become slightly easier. The fourth thing...
Just quickly, sorry.
Oh, no.
Sorry, one more example. Even if it's going shopping for clothes and stuff, if they're not comfortable trying on clothes, if clothes don't fit them, and you're obviously in front of mirrors and stuff, and if they've got body image issues, then it's going to be very difficult for them. So even just going to the mall to have some lunch or like a drink and shopping could be really difficult for them. So just, try and... If you
keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Next one.
And then the next one was being non-judgmental and patient. Obviously, no, not obviously, but mental illness requires a lot of patience, and a lot of things that, like the sufferer might say things that you find difficult to comprehend or difficult to understand. So it's important that everything they say, to be a good friend, you don't judge what they say, you take it on board. Maybe you don't always agree with it or you don't understand it, but it's just, the sufferer often actually probably doesn't understand what they're saying either.
I didn't.
So, no.
I had no idea. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. And I think being patient as well.
Yeah.
The sufferer needs a lot of patience, and as a friend I think that's one of the best things you can give them, because you've come out with a couple of really lovely friends.
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
they're so patient.
I look back and I'm like, oh my God, like how were they so patient, and I mean, even you, like I'm like, how did she do it? Like how did she? Because even I'm like, what did I do? And for someone that's not in the mental illness, they must look at it and be like, what? And last point, we said this in the previous video as well, is you are not obliged to be their carer, so don't get stressed out about, try not to get stressed out about how they're doing, whether they're doing really well or whether it's the opposite. Just keep yourself well and healthy and focus on yourself and be there as much as you can, but not at the detriment to yourself.
Yeah, it's not your job to be their carer.
Yeah.
You know, it's lovely if you can support your friend or their sibling or something like that, but yeah, it's not your job.
Yeah.
So
And don't feel guilty because it's not your fault either.
Yeah, it's not up to you to be their therapist or anything like that. You can listen, and it's nice to create a safe place to listen, but yeah, don't put it on yourself to be their carer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's all we've got time for today.
Yeah. But we will be doing another video soon.
Yeah.
So watch out for that.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.